Well, that escalated quickly. So it's no surprise that the reception and discussion sparked by the Scorch Shot video, now my most viewed TF2 video, was interesting and diverse to say the least. On one side, you have many claiming it is a pointless crutch that makes shutting down snipers too easy, and on the other, you have those claiming it's a reliable harassment tool that sacrifices raw damage for the ability to deter snipers, something most classes, bar sniper and spy, can't reliably do. Honestly, I see some validity on both sides of this spectrum. I still stand firm in saying it's not OP or a crutch, but there is a tweak or two I'd like to see implemented, to which I'll talk about soon. Firstly, if you don't know of it already, I'd like to introduce you to the big book of TF2 catchphrases, also known as the Wiki's Glossary of Terms. Being on the TF2 wiki, it's safe to say that this glossary contains meanings generally accepted by the community. A crutch is defined as a derogatory term for a weapon that compensates for a player's lack of skill. This is something important to keep in mind, because a crutch is not a weapon or tool that is good for bad players but bad for good players. Even if a weapon is seen as a crutch to help a bad player, for example the lock and load and liberty launcher, which many see as crutches, both of these weapons are not at all awful in the hands of a good player. There might certainly be better options, but the Liberty serves a humble ability to help shotgun soldiers roam, and the Lock and Load specialises against buildings, something a hybrid knight would find useful. Onto the Scorch Shot. No, it's not a crutch. Yes, it has splash, and yes, the splash is designed to apply afterburn more efficiently than the other flare guns, but that doesn't make it a crutch. The important thing to remember is that the Scorch Shot's damage is massively reduced compared to the others, only building up to anything significant if the afterburn is left to linger, which is the fault of the target. Much like the slowdown of the Natasha in trade for its damage penalty, the Scorch Shot is a crowd control weapon, designed to harass, not directly kill.
However,
despite that, I would indeed like to see the Scorch Shot nerfed in some ways in order to keep it more in line with the other flares, but still allowing it to reliably harass an inefficient sniper. Firstly, I would nerf the total duration of afterburn altogether down to 3 seconds. What this means is that even if directly hit, a sniper doesn't have to spend ages behind cover before he can peek out again, but is left deterred for just long enough that the pyro, or whoever the pyro is trying to save, can get away. Furthermore, I would also apply a simple change to nerf the duration of afterburn inflicted based on the splash, much like your standard rocket. The further away the projectile from the player when it hits, the less time they are lit on fire. A direct flare would inflict the full 3 seconds, while minimal splash would apply as little as half a second. Finally, and easily the most simple, give it a slower reload speed. About 20% would probably be safe. These simple changes would keep the Scorch Shot's ability to harass snipers, yet up the skill indexing required for that harassment to still be effective, as direct flares would be more necessary to keep the sniper deterred, and minimal splash would not be a constant pain in the arse. What do you think? Are these changes a good idea to make the Scorch Shot less of a pain, or is it okay as is? Let me know your thoughts below. This has been the Cup of Coffee you all know and love, and as always, I shall see you next time, my sexy compatriots. Bye!